Welcome back to PCM Yeti episode 72. Strong performances recently, some snowballing, others just showing a lot of points for the team. We're all the way up to third in the team rankings, and we've had multiple popularity boosts, this time to Tunisia with Haddad, bringing us from 2 to 4 points from a podium at Flèche Wallonne. I could very well be mistaken on this, but if memory serves me correctly, Hagland has had really poor luck this season when it's come to race day condition to his draws. And he's got another really poor one today with a -3. And on top of it, he's at 88% fitness anyway, as he is very much in between objectives. He's got nothing coming up in the next little bit, so he's not building towards anything right now. His fatigue is nothing though, so it's nothing along those lines that's setting him back. He's just had a lot of bad draws lately, I think. Anyway, as for everybody else and for the rest of the team, we're looking okay. I mean, we have a -1 as a full unit. Our expected was a +2, so overall it's a -3 draw on the day. But it's Liège-Bastogne-Liège, so it's a big race, and I think now is the time to start upping that effort to hold that position. We're drifting quite quickly as we climb here. 8-rider breakaway had a very stable 6.5 minutes for a long time over the last about 40 to 50k. That's been pulled back by 3 minutes, so we're setting a good tempo, but it's nothing crazy. A lot of undulation on here. The finish though is one for if you can handle the series of climbs, and it's a very big if, but if you can handle those, you're looking at a scenario where a sprinter could win it. But I just don't think we'll have sprinters left. But in the just-in-case category, Pickrell and G are here and protected. And then, otherwise, we're leading for Panamar or like a Montez type scenario. Hagland very much out of the picture on that one. Pickrell, the only guy in the group that's not much of a climber. He's a decent puncher, but very much not a climber, and try to get back into position now. And we've only gone through 2 climbs, and he's drifted a lot in just 2 climbs. First climb effort wasn't quite there, so I get that he dropped back a fair bit. We're still chasing that front group. We've only pulled back 15 seconds as we go through the third, and this time much shorter climb, but we're going to immediately go into the next one. And that's the thing. There's a lot of undulation here. We're already down to a peloton that's seeing splits, yo-yoing primarily. But there can and will be a time where this thing's just done, where it is what it is. Pickrell, we're going to have to start setting that 90. He's drifting further and further back, and I don't want him taking himself and Hagland out of the group, and we need water one more time. Contact made once again, and should I send Hagland for that? No, there's a little bit of a break this next climb. I'm going to send Hagland a little on the early side to get the water, and then so he can start coming back up part way, or the last part of the climb anyway. But then he'll have a nice descent to make up some ground. Pickrell made up some good ground there on that last little piece of the descent. 4.5k, so we don't want to wait until the last 1.5k, but we only want to be about here, I'd say. Oh, Hagland! No, what? Why? Ugh. Screw this game on how he does that. Really? He just waited 2 minutes back there solo, and now Pickrell's getting dropped. Oh gosh, it was showing that we were in the middle of the peloton, not at the back end. But that's those two out. Hagland's still trying to get water, by the way, and here he comes to get through. And he gave water to Pickrell, and that was it. No, he's still chasing. What a waste. What a waste. And that's the worst of the climbing done, too. 46K. Still 2.5 minutes to the front. 8, but it's very much coming down. And these guys, let's have them up the effort. G's looking great. He is the main guy for the day, and he is on a +4. And these guys aren't that far behind, but Hagland has given up on water. I'd like to see this group make contact. I think at this point it would probably be helpful. I think the other guys we'd be bringing up wouldn't be much of a contributor. And look how recovered Pickrell is. And he's my fastest, so he's definitely faster than G. But we're at 42K to go, and water is a concern. Montez is going to have to go take care of that. Climbing is not the strong suit for Pickrell, though. So Montez has gotten the water, but he's quite a ways behind. And the group just split. So the guys that were chasing, that's kind of it on them. 99, follow. Shui and Zippanati are also kind of right at the end. But Montez is fighting his way back into position, and Hagland is now done. Pick roll. 99. Can you do here? Can you do anything? 37K out. I'm not going to drop anybody back to help him, but if he can, say, relay with these guys, maybe they'll get back up there. Maybe they won't. No, now there's another split. And it's quite a ways behind. Just set these 2 to auto. That's it. They're done. Giving up any hope on them. Zippanati. Shui. Montez. Still coming with water. Slowly but surely. I'm down to these 3 guys that are left to do anything. Unless you can get some recovery out of the other 2. But we're about to hit this next climb. And that's going to kind of be the end of that. And we did have some riders attack, but they are literally just right there, a bike length away. And they've been brought back. Ineos now doing the work. 3 riders, and is this an attack coming? Which would make them sit up also if they get separated. No. They just brought their leader forward and then put the next guy on the front. Down to 5. Down to 5 doing the work. Shui and Zippanati drop back there, more than 2 minutes behind. At front 5, that is the leftovers of the breakaway. Who is in said breakaway? Let's find out. Vanderpool. Whew, not an easy catch at all. 26K to go, but I only have 3 guys, so it's not like we can count on anything. Montez, why are you dropping back so far? You should still be up there. And now protecting G. Let's gel for him. Most of the climbing is now done. There's really just one more good climb, but there's that little undulation like what we have right now. Up the effort a little bit more, hold that position more. Panamar, follow G. Whoa, G, why? I thought G was the one who was up at the front, up here just a moment ago. He lost that much ground with a 77. Montez is done. Panamar, protect. And gel. 20K out. This is really going to come down to our one guy and an individual effort, which means it's going to be tough to try to get a win. We're going to have to try to follow like Vanderpool or whatever. And Vanderpool is, I think, why this thing's going down to the wire. It's down to 4 at the front. It's inside a minute, but the chase has been hard. Kind of surprised there's still 52 chasing.
We've got 15 kilometers to
Pickrell left the rest of those guys behind, but he's, what, 3.5 minutes down and out of energy. Montez still... Oh, still trying to protect. Okay, nice. They're both trying to protect G. I like that. 13K. Here's that last tough climb. And there goes the favorites. Panamar pull G along. There's now 7 guys off the front and a fading, what, trio of breakaway riders. 12.5K. Panamar go as fast as you can to just lead out G. Montez is dropped. Wow, look how big those gaps are turning into. We just covered a big gap, bringing two groups back together. There's now 6 riders ahead of us, 3 and 3.
10 kilometers left.
And we're just outside of the top 10 positionally as Panamar tries to pull whatever pace he could pull, and now G is on his own as we hit the top. Save your red bar, please. Just there you go. Hey, don't be weird about this. Gosh. 19 chasing 5. So we're kind of locked up into that top 25, 6.7K, and it's going to go fast because it's downhill. Okay, let's get a check. It's Pidcock and Nice up the road. Van Gils has been dropped by Gregoire and Pigacher. So, yeah, just tons of quality. And G is just kind of hanging on to tail end of this group, which is now down to 13. Give me some red bar, G. You're at the very back, which I don't like, but we're getting that red bar now. But so are they. Are you losing contact? That was a good bike length that you just gave up, 2.2K. 1.4. Coming in forward and then into the final kilometer and sprinting coming out. We're definitely not winning. Clearly the front 3 came back together and they're going to get a 1-2-3 with Pigacher, Van Gils, Gregoire. Then the other 2 of Pidcock and Nice, and we are not going to win the sprint of the others. Didn't have enough left over, but we got close to the front with Vlasov, Skilmoza, Lascano, Evenipol. G gets 10th. That's a good result. I mean, it was a tough race that did not go the way we certainly wanted it to go. Those couple of guys getting dropped early over water certainly didn't help. Didn't hurt us too much either. I mean, it was what it was. The other domestiques were spent and dropped out, so we really had 3 guys to do the work, and 2 of them didn't do much for us, and G did all right to secure a top 10 in a tough field with other guys clearly in better shape than we were today. Way back in episode 24, our man Altangerel got the only win he had had at that point in his career and snowballed for us the POP 2 African nations. Now Altangerel, quite a few seasons later, no longer with the team, riding for Farai Quick Panda, has gotten his second career victory, and this time that victory has seen his home nation, which did not get a boost the previous time, seen his home nation's popularity increase from 2 to 3, making Mongolia a 3-2 nation now. So good on Altangerel. It's nice to see that one kind of circle back on a guy that we developed. Speaking of development, here is how he's looking these days. He's a 3.5-star rider. It is a sprint that we won with him, and yeah, 72-74 sprint is definitely not great. It's not going to win very many races, but when you have what is a 2-person finish group on what is a punchy stage with just kind of some simple undulation and a slight uphill finish, all he had to do was beat one much weaker rider around him to claim that victory in that head-to-head. So yeah, good job there for claiming that one. I'm guessing with a Corbin Strong and strong chasing pack that is a breakaway that survived by a small margin, and he was just stronger than the co-member of that breakaway to get that victory, the second, and the boost for his home nation. I was planning on including Eschborn Frankfurt in this episode. It's a C-class World Tour race, so it would definitely be a good opportunity, and as it's classified punchy, where really being a sprint, it's a great opportunity for sprinters, but I've decided to spread things out for the Grand Tours and really going all in for one style. And for the Giro, it's the sprints. Not that there's a ton of sprints there, but you got 2, 5, 6, 10, 11, 14, 17, and 21. Decent amount of opportunities. 8 classified sprint stages, certainly there's a possibility of, out of the 3 hills stages, or maybe even a medium mountain stage, that there may be another 1 to 2 opportunities in there that, if we can survive the climbs, the finish could still end up coming down to a sprint. As a team, we've dropped back down to 4th, but only by a few points, by the way, so we're at 6,900. And the Giro is the big thing upcoming, so I was going to try to get Eschborn-Frankfurt in this episode so that we can then focus on the Giro for the next 1 to 2 episodes. It's sprints, so it'll go by pretty quickly. And then we'll have Norway at the tail end of that, but that's 2 pro. And we have Iraq, in the midst of that, but that's Abdullah might be the only one racing there. That might be 2 simple victories for us. So that being said, this is where we should be headed. But with all those sprinters heading to the Giro, I'm not going to waste their preparation days. And so Derek G is the fastest guy we have going to Eschborn-Frankfurt, which means he's not very fast. He's also suffering from a bit of a sniffle at the moment. I don't think it's going to go terribly well, but Hayden Shaw has just leveled up. He's now a 5-star guy. As a sprinter, he's now a 78, 79 sprinter. So we now have 2 sprinters that are pretty dang good, giving us a much better shot at things. And, he's got to be one of the ones, yes. So Lind, Shaw, Vasilevsky, Pickrell, all headed. Harrison, wait, wasn't Shaw already my fast man? Wasn't that already where he was? So his sprint hasn't changed at all. So what's different? How is he a 5-star now? Or was he already a 5-star and I missed something? Haglund was already 5. Lind was already 5. So yeah, Shaw was 4.5. Now 5. I don't get it. What improved? Flat stamina? Resistance? Something in there? I'll have to check on that, I guess, to find out what has changed. Anyway, Eschborn-Frankfurt is not going to be a winnable race for us at this stage, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Or if I do, I'll just bring you the final few kilometers of it. And the reason being why I'm not going to include it in this episode is it's the dossier period. And I've got to finish that before the race, and that's something that takes many hours to complete, to go through and scout all the nations, especially as that pool gets larger and larger and larger, and finding that diamond in the rough who can help and contribute to our team. Looking at our team and what we have for contracts, the expirer, Haglund expiring, he's going to be due a massive pay raise. Pickrell, I think we can probably keep him on the same money or less. Panamar, Abdullah, so 3 guys that are definitely on that older side, and as good as they're going to get at 4 stars and shouldn't be too expensive. I should be able to get all 3 of them re-signed cheap, and Gutstein we're definitely leaving behind. I would think I can save money with Pickrell, get him signed back on for probably $6,000. Same for the other 2, which means maybe drop Abdullah or Panamar. And then that $10,000 or so going to Haglund, bringing him up to 15. That's obviously not going to be enough. I mean, it's going to take at least 20 to re-sign Haglund. It's going to be difficult. 5-star guy at 21 years of age. He's going to be expensive. So first priority is dossiers on those 4 guys. That's probably not going to use all my points, so I'm going to have more work to do scouting wise and seeing how we can fill out the team. There is, for the first time, some potential in youth scouting, as I've got somebody coming in rated pretty high, but I'm not done scouting him. We're still working on it, but there is very much I just got him from the 6 to an 8. Just got him from a 6 to an 8, and he is a 5.5-star prospect. So excellent there. But resistance is high right now and nothing else. Sprint is a 68. He is a sprinter. So he's got a ways to go. 68 there, 67 acceleration. So a 3-star, but 5.5 potential. But just how good is that sprint going to be eventually? I don't know yet. Brodor-wise, he should put in a decent flat rating eventually. Right now it's a 66. where there's absolutely no hint of a Continental Pro team anywhere else near the top 10. We're 3,000 points ahead of 10th place Jaco Alula. Grand Tours will change things, right? Big hauls of points, and I'm not sure what kind of points I'll necessarily secure in those, but we're going to be in them, so we will secure some points as well. So chances are the top 7, top 6 is already pretty secure at this point, unless we just suddenly stop scoring points. Major injuries to Hagland, Shaw, G, who have been bringing in the bulk of the points for us so far. Haddad, Pickrell, Montez all doing pretty okay in that department, and then a lot of support guys just bringing in smaller hauls of points. But that's been where you stack the deck and bring in and get top 10s with those guys, where the leaders are finishing ahead of them and they help us secure some points. Individually, though, it's Pogacar, Milan, Vingegaard, Pedersen that are leading the way. Our top guy is Hagland, and Hagland's 22nd with 23:45 over the last year. And a lot of that happening already this season, just 700 dating back to the other point of last year. And we're almost midway, right? We've gone through 4 months, and the season does end mid-October, so it's not like it's a 12-month season. So we're close to halfway, a month till the halfway point, and he's got more than half of his points this year. So Hagland's definitely stepped up, scoring a lot more. Derek G's also doing pretty good, but of course that's not going to make a difference for Canada. Liechtenstein should very much, with a top 25, should very much be securing a training boost in the coming season. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode, though. Like I said, I don't have time at the moment to put those hours in and do that research to figure out who our next rider is going to be. So that's it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.